Hello, and welcome to the Wonky Gamer, Thermonuclear Popcorn. Like a phoenix from the ashes, we have returned with a new cast. You may know me from previous episodes. I'm Stef, and this is...
Ded.
And I'm Rammy.
We'll be covering a mixture of games and platforms, but in particular, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. We want this to be a community podcast, so we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Any suggestions you have for games you would like to be covered would be great. Also, let us know what you liked and didn't like. That way we can create content you, the community, want. You can also let us know your feedback as well through our email address, which is thermonuclearpopcorn@gmail.com.
We're still new at this. Be gentle with us.
Should we get into the news then, I suppose? The kind of things that have been going on this week in gaming news.
Yeah.
So I suppose the first big one would be the whole Battlefield and Call of Duty trailers that have seemed to led to pretty big reactions.
Yeah, the two reveals. I mean, the Battlefield trailer has confused me straight away, though, because I knew there was a Battlefield 4, but this is apparently Battlefield 1.
Because it's set in World War One.
Ah, right, okay. They're doing something clever with the number there.
Yes.
That just left me confused.
With the next one.
They've rebooted the numbering sequence.
More than likely. But the trailer's got a very interesting cover of the Seven Nation Army. But the video for it looks really good. It covers. It appears that the game's going to be covering air combat, naval combat. There's going to be tanks rolling around, trench
and
warfare.
Horses.
Horses, awesome.
Horses.
I mean, I've only viewed the video briefly, but the graphics looked absolutely outstanding. Really impressive.
Is it like the thing is about the trailer? It does say I think it says something like in-engine footage.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of it is actually
the real actual engine and how much they've put it up to go get everyone excited.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if like, some of the animations like and the flowing from like the movement of the like the avatars of like the characters and stuff is like maybe that's more scripted than the reality of the game. I don't know though.
Yeah.
They'll put a trailer together to show off the game engine's full capabilities.
Yeah, and it will be as smooth as possible because they want to give the best impression of the game.
Overall, it looks like it's going to be a very good game.
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, they've got horrible history over the last few years of gating content via DLC, which I think can make it quite difficult for an online game because it ends up with like a slowly dwindling community as those who buy
as
the
less
extras.
people buy it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see how well it does. I know that pre-orders are available for it now, though.
Coming out in October, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. I'm sure it's pretty soon.
It's not too far away. And then you've got Call of Duty won't be far behind.
Which got absolutely slammed.
Yeah, 21st of October, Battlefield 1. Do you know why they are so why it has got so panned?
I mean, from chatting to... I mean, I'm not really a Call of Duty fan, to be honest, but from chatting to people that are, I think graphically it looks very similar to the last one that came out, and also it doesn't seem to have much... I mean, it does seem to have some weird thing in space, which looks quite cool, but it doesn't seem to have that much distinct from the old one, from what I've heard.
I think the players were mostly expecting a return to normality, effectively, with a normal theme rather than a tech theme, or futuristic tech theme. Someone mentioned to me that it seemed We're a bit tired of jetpacks, but I like jetpacks. As long as I can get somewhere high and snipe.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, it's quite odd to see sort of the difference in direction, because it's I think it's called Infinite Warfare, isn't it? The new
the reveal trailer is certainly Infinite Warfare.
It's funny how that seems to be going. I think it's going a little bit further in the future than the previous Call of Duty. I'm not too sure about that, but that's the impression I got. Whereas Battlefield's going all the way back.
Yeah, they're really at opposites, aren't they? They've gone for 2, and it's nearly up to 1 million dislikes. Just looking here on YouTube for the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer.
And it's got almost, 3 or 4 times more dislikes than likes.
Yes. Likes are 241,000. I mean, I've just had a look through some of the comments on it, and a lot of the people are saying, oh, we've just come here to look at the dislikes. Trying to get to 1 million dislikes. Hashtag road to 1 million.
But then again, you've got the old negative publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
The more people talking about it having 1 million likes, or free advertising they're getting, basically.
Well, I saw a comment before that said it was the 8th most disliked video on YouTube currently.
Wow.
Even above Miley Cyrus, so...
Quite an impressive...
Also, it didn't seem that bad.
Attempt. I don't know, the space combat could be interesting. Depends on whether it's 0G or... It depends on a lot of different factors.
Yeah.
But
I've always found it hard to get into the Call of Duty games, though, because I am a really casual gamer, and every time I've ever tried to step into one, literally, I turn a corner and I'm dead. Never been able to get into them.
I think that's the thing, it's like... I've played Counter-Strike and sort of other PC games like strategy games and things, but I think there's probably a whole meta to it and a way of playing that is...
But as a new player, you just seem like everyone knows the trick and you just don't.
Yeah. But I have that with most shooters now, so I don't really play them very much. I just get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, it feels like, because all of the Call of Duties, they are fairly similar in how they all work, so if you've got all the experience in all of those titles all the way along, when it comes to me trying to jump in, I'm miles behind.
Yeah. I've had that with games like League of Legends, and it's the same with, I'm sure Ded's had with StarCraft. It's pretty hard to get... It's very difficult to get friends involved who haven't played it before to actually play at a level where it's like, both have fun.
I've always been intrigued by League of Legends, but I've never played it yet, so we should do a video of you teaching me, a complete noob to it, how to play League of Legends.
I'm up for that, definitely.
That'd certainly, I think, make for an interesting viewing. Again, they could let us know in the comments whether that is something people want to see from us.
Yeah, that would be good, actually. See what people think. What else? Oh, you go, Dad.
With StarCraft.
Yeah.
I think you've cut out there.
Hello?
I can hear you again now.
Yeah, with StarCraft, it's very much a case of once you get on the leaderboard, you've got to try and maintain and improve, and it does become a little bit taxing at times.
Can you still play sort of unranked games, like normal games?
You can play unranked and friendlies and stuff like that, but if you're trying to play competitively, you're fighting tooth and nail.
Yeah. I had the same thing with League of Legends. It's just very... You have to have a lot of time to invest in it, really, as well.
Yeah, to keep on top of the meta.
Yeah. And also to keep up on your reflex. I mean, StarCraft's probably even more reflex based than League of Legends. You have to like, what do they call it? Click per minute or?
Actions per minute.
Yeah, APM. That's it.
It's if you look at some of the professional Korean guys and like the big leaguers, the guys that were things like BlizzCon in the finals, it's insane. They're machines.
Right, wow.
It would just be if I tried to play against them, it'd be like just throwing an egg in the blender.
Yeah. Koreans seem very good at computer games, competitively, to be honest.
It's Korea's got the was it South Korea's got the it's basically a sport. Esports is their thing. They have regular competitions in stadiums and huge venues. Thousands of people watching two guys playing a video game.
It's the same with League. I mean, millions of people watch it live, the tournaments.
Big prizes as well.
That's pretty cool.
Top guys earn serious money out of it.
It is ridiculous. But, I mean, as you're saying, it's a sport over there. It's actually seen by, like, people go out to watch it in a very different way to the way that, say, people in the UK or Europe would, they watch online games.
Yeah.
It's like football over there.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I'd certainly, I think, rather watch the gamers than football, to be honest.
But yeah,
okay.
we should probably get back on topic as well.
Yeah, we've wandered a little.
Right, so Battlefield.
Call of Duty. Final thoughts, which, given a choice, would you go for at the moment, just off the back of those two trailers?
Battlefield
Looks really good. Like tech. Battlefield still looks. Battlefield looks like options, more things.
Oh, you're cutting out a bit there.
It looks like there's more things to do in Battlefield. So, more than likely Battlefield out of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely Team Battlefield for now.
I think I am, but I've never really liked Call of Duty. I've always preferred Battlefield, but they kind of, for me, went off the boil a bit over the last two games because they were very much they didn't focus much on the destruction of environments, which I really loved.
Yeah.
Change the Battlefield.
What was that?
Change the Battlefield.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we should probably talk about Overwatch as well. That's something we've all given a go, because there's been a beta which you can join actually on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
When does the beta end?
Beta ends on the 9th of...
On the 9th, so you got until tomorrow. And this goes out later, then sorry for that. You've missed it. But we can at least give you our impressions if you did miss it.
And there probably will be there will be a sort of recorded stream version actually on Ded's on Ded's Twitch account, so we could link that in the bottom of the video or the podcast.
Yeah.
And he's actually just loading it up now, so you'll be able to get a little look at it.
Also, it gives us something to talk around.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what's everyone's initial thoughts on it?
What I've played of it, seems, but that's Blizzard.
You're cutting out again, Ded.
Hello.
That's better.
Yeah.
Cable. From what I've seen of it, it looks very rounded, very well rounded. But I'd put that mainly down to it being a Blizzard product. Blizzard have a habit of not releasing a game unless they are perfectly happy, well, almost perfectly happy with it.
Yeah, it does feel very polished, even for a beta. I mean, I had no issues at any point in the time I've spent with it dropping connection or anything at all.
No.
Everything was quick. Finding games I found to be literally at most 10 seconds. I think I waited to be put into a game. with other players. So yeah, really good, well polished.
For a beta as well, I don't think that's quite surprising that they. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone played it when it released, but I mean, I haven't really heard anything about them having a massive issue with people downloading it and massive issues with people loading it up, with all the people trying to play it. Because I'm sure a lot of people have given it a go because it's really hyped.
I've seen footage of Blizzard's main server, and it is huge. It processes about, it's some stupid number, like 50 Blu-rays worth of music, of data a second. So it's 50. The contents of 50 Blu-rays every second.
You know what is crazy actually with Blizzard? Because I mean that's amazing where they've got to. But if you look at where they came from, I read an article actually sometime I can't remember, a few months ago. Apparently, the Diablo 2 Battle.net service was on one computer.
Really?
Apparently, yeah, because it didn't have a lot to sort of
process. Yeah.
But absolutely crazy that it's come from that to what we have now.
Yeah. But I mean, the polish definitely shows on the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you do just jump in, it recommends you play the free sort of tutorial levels just to get a feel for it, and they are very basic. You can just dive straight in to the game if you're familiar with shooters at all.
Or you can go away with your mech. Sorry.
Yeah, that's just
yeah, I mean, people did different things. I mean, I just jumped right in, and I mean, I've tried a few characters and found. I mean, the one I sort of settled on was the Reaper for a little bit, which
I'm currently running around.
Which you're running around with now, aren't you? And
they're
seem to
good.
Fall right into it. I preferred the sentry character, Bastion. I found I used him a lot more because he just seemed to have. If you're in the sentry mode, you found yourself at a nice position, then you can absolutely hose the other team. It's brilliant. But the Reaper I never quite got the hang of. As I say, I'm very casual, so normally a game like this, I'd expect to die instantly. But I found it was accessible, and I did have time to actually join in and get involved in the fights.
At the moment, it's
that's
accessible.
a sort of trademark Blizzard thing.
I do think though it'll get meta games pretty soon.
Yeah, you can always. I found I could already feel that kind of setting in. The people that have played it all the weekend it's been out, they'll have been on non-stop stuff like that, and they know all the maps already.
All the big spots, the best places to hide.
Yeah, and you can really tell the difference between a casual player like me and one guy I was up against that literally he was just all over the map and obviously knew it. and that did make a difference in knowing the tricks with each of the characters, but each one is really quite different. So
yeah, the skill sets are very different. I think
I'm quite interested to sort of see what it turns into really as a game.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a team-based shooter basically. There is no story mode that I can see yet. It might be being held back for the actual launch, so not giving away too much of the story in the single player.
Oh, so there is actually going to be a single player to it?
There may not be. I honestly don't know.
There is not like Blizzard to do a game without a single player.
Right, okay.
A story mode. Oh.
It would be interesting to see what they did with it, because it does feel very like it is just geared for that team shooting. And your team, it really does make quite a big difference having the mix of characters on your team. For certainly the missions I played.
I like how they've divided it into like the kind of support and I suppose
the four categories: your tank, your support, assault, and defense.
Yeah. I mean, it's it'd be interesting to keep an eye on because I mean I don't know if they're thinking of trying to get into esports with it or what.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it'd be set up pretty well for that.
Yeah, it almost seems like a very modern version of Team Fortress.
Right. Yeah.
I get that vibe, but I don't know whether that's just because I don't play a lot of shooters nowadays. But,
I mean, the vibe I got from it was actually really old school Time Splitters.
Oh yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it's a bit of the art style or the...
The art style is very Pixar.
Yes, it is.
It looks like a movie, especially the trailer. The opening trailer is absolutely brilliant.
Don't know if I took the time to watch that. I might have just dived in.
I think I skipped everything.
They haven't included it in the.
Oh, is it just on
no,
YouTube
you just get the Blizzard
somewhere?
Logo loading up, but
right, okay.
I've seen on BlizzCon streams and several times on YouTube as well. The full sort of basic storyline, and it looks like it could be taken straight from a superhero movie.
Oh, wicked!
Oh, brilliant.
But no, it will be interesting to find out more about it as it develops. And we don't have that long to wait for it coming out either, do we?
It's Overwatch is 4th of May, I think.
Will it have ranked play?
I imagine so.
I'd expect it to have the ranked play. I mean, the way I got into the game, when I loaded it up, I didn't just dive straight in. I did take my time, go through each of the tutorials. And the second tutorial, Practice, I found really useful because there's just one little room and then some bots you can go out and kill. And it gives you a chance to try out every single character and see what they do. And that was, for me, was great fun because then I could get a feel for each character and find the ones that actually I like that one. That one I've got no idea how to use yet and just progress from there. Then an AI game to sort of just ease me into it before I went up against real players. Because, as I say, very casual gamer. I expected it against real players to turn around the corner and die instantly, but that wasn't the case. It was really fun just to get into. But,
yeah, I mean it's quite a fun game to literally just pick up and play, isn't it? Which
yeah.
I thought was good, really. I mean, it isn't necessarily my type of game, just because I don't really play shooters that much nowadays. It's a lot more kind of. I mean, I still play a bit of League, but I quite like strategy games.
Yeah.
RPGs. Let's have a look. So, what's everyone's sort of final thoughts on Overwatch at the moment?
It looks really good. It plays really well. There's not a lot of technical difficulty to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I mean, I think they'll become a sort of weird meta game with it probably at some point. But to actually get into it, it's very, very straightforward.
Pick up and play, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, as we were saying, like, I mean, I just jumped in, but I mean, you found that when you first started playing it, it just kind of, you didn't just get absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, no, I felt I could actually make an attempt at the game, which is a really nice feeling when you are such a casual gamer, and when I've tried things like Call of Duty and literally you spend most of the time waiting to respawn in. For this, actually getting to run around and in some cases do well enough to end up with my name on a little medal type thing, and then the players can vote for they did a great job, etc. So that felt really good.
It's a good little aspect to it actually. At the end, you have a good match, and then they'll sort of highlight you, or people can sort of like who they thought did really well and that kind of thing. It is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of just keep you hooked. But I think that's what Blizzard are particularly good at with their games.
Yeah, keeping you hooked.
Yeah.
But no, I found it to be a really fun game. I'm just worried about the longevity of it because and play, great fun for a weekend. But I don't know whether I'd keep playing and playing, just because the nature of the game, it's not something I'd normally do.
Depends on
but if you had a team of you all together and you're all trying to rank up together and you got your moves down, and then that I think would be great fun and would give it more legs. So definitely, if a handful of people,
a clan system for it.
Yeah.
It won't be very long before it'll either be packaged with it when it's released, or they will create it afterwards.
But yeah,
probably give people a chance to get used to the game before they stick a clan in.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely seems like quite a bit of fun. I think a lot of it as well depends on how much they invest in it as an esport, if they are playing that, and also how much people sort of pick up on it as a as a game they'd want to play sort of that religiously. I think it's definitely got the makings of it, though.
It definitely does, I think. Because, as I say, it was a lot of fun.
I also think with Blizzard that at the moment anything they release is going to get a hell of a lot of people playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is their first attempt at a shooter.
Yeah.
So I would say it's looking like it's going to be a success, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a shooter, it is pretty damn good. I mean, I think it's got that. It's almost got, like, controls-wise, it feels a bit like Halo.
It does, yeah. It's familiar enough that you can just jump in.
You know what I mean? Compared to, like, Call of Duty.
Yeah, definitely. I did like how the mechanics and stuff worked for it.
Ouch.
What else have we got as well? I mean, there's some other news that we could sort of touch upon.
Yeah.
Nintendo at E3.
Yeah. So, they're literally only taking Zelda to E3. Doing a full day's worth of streaming of the game, which is...
Would that not show the whole game by the end of the stream?
Yeah, there's been a lot of the media sort of been saying, well, how are they going to do that? Like a full day's worth, and will it ruin the magic of trying the game out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Surely that's one of the main points of the Zelda games, is the exploration and discovering it for yourself.
You don't really want to have seen the whole storyline before you play
I mean, what I'm wondering that they might do is like stream a bit of the game, and then they'll like go back to Miyato. I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, there we go. They'll probably go back to him. He'll do a bit of a talk for an hour, and then they'll switch back and show something else, maybe.
Yeah, it's just...
It's a bit disappointing, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Nintendo.
It shows how much they've already given up on the Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, because they've got the Nintendo NX coming out, I think, early next year.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of rumours abounding for that, aren't there?
Yeah, it's the cartridge rumour is quite a popular one.
Which is cool.
Should be nice to have a cartridge-based system again. I mean, it's just going to be a giant flash drive, basically.
They load really fast, don't they?
Yes, yeah, it's just going to be effectively a solid-state drive. So
it'll be interesting to see what they do with the controllers, though.
Nintendo,
I think they
have a history with controllers. If you look at the controllers for the PlayStation and the Xbox, and the ones they release for PC, they're all based on the Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah.
The basic 4-button layout and the D-pad.
Yeah. But But Nintendo's been trying to improve on that and change that for absolutely years.
Yeah, they tried with the
The
motion
Wave
remotes,
Bird and the Wiimotes.
Yeah, the Wii remotes were a bit weird. I'm not compatible with them.
I found them great when my son was born. Was actually the year the Wii came out, and so playing Zelda with him cradled in my arm and using the thumbstick with the arm that's got him cradled there, and then the sword fighting with the other, it worked perfectly. And my playing would always put him straight to sleep. So.
Oh, brilliant!
So it was just the ideal thing.
I don't know. I mean, I suppose it depends as well. I did like the Wii remote for some games, but I do kind of like sitting down and not moving much when I play games.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is a bit of the old school gamer in me. I quite like the kind of also that detachment as well from the game almost. If that makes sense. Like if you're playing an RPG, just sit there and play it. I think their second. You know, the Nintendo, the Wii U.
Yeah.
I thought they made a real error with that controller.
Yeah, it's just too massive.
It's quite big, but I can see there's definite advantages to it because you've got the screen built into the controller.
Yeah.
If someone else wants to use the TV, you can take the image from the TV and move it down, which really helps.
It had some really cool ideas, but
if you look at the big guys, the Xbox and the PlayStation, they've taken that idea. With Xbox, you've got the Windows 10 app, which I use quite a lot, to be fair. Which allows you, if you're on the same, you have to be on the same network, and you can stream from your Xbox to any Windows 10 device. The PlayStation has a game link system with the PS Vita.
Yeah.
So you can basically access your PlayStation from anywhere if you've got the 3G version. Go away. The 3G version. You can access your PlayStation from anywhere and remote play effectively. Obviously, that requires SIM card and paying for a data stream and the rest. But it's also, if you've got the Wi-Fi version, you just hop on the Wi-Fi wherever you are and access your PlayStation.
I mean, it is. I mean, I think they have sort of taken that idea and run away with it. Because I think the problem is with the. I mean, I'm not sure how much the controllers are for the Wii U.
The screen controllers, they're irreplaceable. You cannot buy them. You can't buy them separately.
Really? You can only buy them with the console?
As far as I'm aware.
Wow.
Good God.
I'm pretty sure through work we've not been able to replace them. So.
Oh wow! So what do you have to buy? Do they have a different type of controller?
You can use Wii remote controllers because all the old Wii controllers they're the same. It's the same piece of equipment. They didn't repurpose. They repurposed that instead of just scrapping it completely.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, player 1 has to use the screen controller, and then players 2 through 4 would use standard Wii remotes.
Oh, right.
Or Wii motion remotes.
Oh, that's not as bad then, I suppose, because I was thinking the price of getting those controllers would be phenomenal.
Those controllers are about 40 quid.
Right. Because it's gone down a bit then.
Yeah, they're still cheaper than
PlayStation 4
PS4.
Yeah.
It's a little bit cheaper than Xbox One controllers.
No way.
Wow.
God. Well, maybe they did. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the thing is with Nintendo, it's difficult because there's a lot of games that I do like. I wish I would have a Wii U to play, say, Mario Kart and the new Zelda, and I'm trying to think what else they've got.
These guys are clever.
Do you think the NX is their last chance to get it right then with a console?
Nintendo's got an innate lovability, obviously with characters like Mario and Zelda. they did win the great Nintendo Sega War.
Yeah, they
80s.
did.
So yeah, I don't think Nintendo's ready to go to a software-only company.
No,
But I don't
definitely
think-
not.
They do try to innovate as much as they can, and they
Yeah.
generally tend to be really good at it. I mean, I love things like the 64 and the GameCube.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
brilliant.
64 is amazing.
GoldenEye.
Those are the days. But yeah, I mean, what I wonder actually, though, I actually sometimes wonder whether Nintendo will be the last console standing because
They
I don't
continually innovate.
well, not just that. I think like your PlayStation and your sort of Microsoft after the next generation are probably going to just do a streaming game service.
Yeah,
Probably
and
where
not
it's gonna be
actually a
heading.
game console.
But then with Nintendo, you wonder, are they going to still? Are they
Use
going
the
to?
consoles.
I mean,
Yeah,
with-
kind of do.
Especially if they're going back to cartridges.
there appears to be a push towards digital download for PC now. There's been a shift of hard copies away from stores, so it's
Things are heading that way.
It's the trouble is the infrastructure for the data content isn't quite there yet. We need more fiber optic, faster connections.
Yeah.
So it will be a push towards that at some point, but I think we're still going to see hard copies for now.
For at least 10 years.
Yeah, until the infrastructure's in place and
But that's why I
and
wonder whether
stable.
Nintendo will stay relevant
Yeah.
while the others go to. I mean, the others still stay relevant, but I wonder with Nintendo whether they'll like knuckle down on couch co-op and that kind of thing.
because that does seem to be missing a lot from games nowadays. I love
I
couch
agree.
co-op because I'm a big retro gamer, and that's how I used to play all my games. So
Well,
But isn't it nice to grab a beer with some friends?
Nintendo
And just...
Nintendo were very big on
Yeah.
on the couch co-op.
Yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation are moving away from it to solo experience.
They
You're
are.
still getting the odd games come through with multiplayer or local multiplayer. They've recently worked it into Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 after not having it in the first one.
well, that's better. Because my son loved playing the first one, but if we could have played it together,
The second one is really good. You can play it split screen and you can play it with AI bots. The multiplayer is really good. There's a whole quest system in it as well, like a solo play
wicked.
experience. And the two opposing camps are basically on an open world map opposite, basically with no man's land in the middle.
oh wow,
Oh.
that sounds really
there's-
interesting.
Collectibles all over the place. There's loads of little gold garden gnomes that you pick up, and they work as a currency, so you can unlock other things. It's really, really well put together,
Oh wow,
and it's got that garden Plants vs Zombies theme to it as well. So
I have to have a look at that in the future. I know my
It's-
son would love to play
yeah,
that.
that's the good thing about that is it is effectively my first shooter. It's not over violent for the kids.
Yeah,
And unlike something like Call
definitely.
of Duty or Battlefield, the more adult games that the kids play quite a lot.
Yeah,
Grand
or,
Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's
or even Halo.
Halo.
Halo feels a little less.
It's a little less, but it's still kind of in between. Whereas Plants vs Zombies is very kid friendly.
Yeah.
So
Weird though,
yeah,
because a lot of people that sort of play shooters, there tends to. I find that there tends to be a bit of a change as people get older, that they start moving towards strategy and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know whether
Developing
that's the same for everyone, but
No, I definitely prefer my strategy games now, I think. Just not quick enough anymore for the shooters. Certainly not Twitch shooters.
yeah, I can. Well, I'm pretty flexible, really.
Yeah,
a
I
bit of
don't
everything.
mind shooters. I don't feel the want to invest time in them in the same way.
Real-time strategies were my thing. That's what I
Yeah.
was really good at. But that's broadened out into things like cover-based shooters with Division.
Yeah. I am loving playing the Division.
Did you?
I like the aerial combat.
Ah.
I got really good at tailing people.
I had a real issue with that game.
A lot of people did.
What was
a lot
your
of people
issue?
Viewed it as a team-based shooter, whereas I viewed it as I'm an individual. My goal is I want to unlock that piece of armor, so I need to get kills. That was the best way to play it. Get the most kills.
But my issue was more to do with the company. There's various things, but there wasn't that much content in the game to start off with.
Right, yeah.
It looked amazing. It played pretty good, and I think it was really good as well for like a casual gamer market. It's really good.
Yeah.
But when you look at Battlefield 2, which had like space battles, it had loads of maps, it had straight out the door, all of that. And then on top of that, what I found disappointing was yeah, I mean, what I found disappointing with it was the fact that you kind of you had tokens to fly vehicles instead of actually vehicles themselves.
First person.
Yeah, I was disappointed with that because I was really looking forward to some of the aerial combat.
Everyone would be flying the Millennium Falcon, and no one would be on the ground. So they have to limit it. You can't have 15 Millennium Falcons flying against 15 slave ones because it just.
Yeah, but they could make it work like they've done in Battlefield games before. You know what I mean?
It's basically you've got hero class ships, so
yeah.
I've regularly picked them up. I am that person. Off the Millennium Falcon slave one. But I like playing as them. They are just flying tanks.
Yeah.
That could segue quite nicely into another potential Star Wars game that there's been
rumours about.
BioWare are apparently making a Star Wars game for EA.
That is exciting. There's got to be loads of people that want a new Kota 3.
Yeah. I'm not so sure though about Kota 3 because they've kind of done that with Tor, the Old Republic.
Yeah.
MMO.
It'll be a new project, I imagine, to run along with the new trilogy.
It'd be nice if they set it in the current trilogy.
Yeah, I think it'll be like if they've got any sense, they'll have it influenced by the 3 films.
Yeah, I suppose they only went to Knights of the Old Republic during that time. It was the prequels. About it
could have been.
It's a difficult one though. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a sort of KOTOR-based Star Wars game, but a completely new story.
It could be something like a completely new Star Wars MMO. Don't really know a lot about it at the moment.
Well, it could, yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Would they do that though?
Probably worth watching, but at the moment, I have to admit I'm not. So I don't know what's upcoming for that one.
Yeah, it's probably years off as well because they're doing Mass Effect and.
Yeah, it's not going to be any time soon, probably. You'll have to excuse me if you keep hearing meows from my mic, because my cat's just come in and decided it wants to be a star, obviously.
There's also Visceral Games apparently doing a Star Wars game. That has the creative director from Uncharted, actually.
Oh, now that could be interesting.
Have any of you played Uncharted? I know it's a PS.
No, I've primarily been
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play Uncharted yet, but everyone I've spoken to that has loved it.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but then I kind of I came into it really late, so I've been trying to play the collection, which is like the HD collection on PlayStation 4. It does seem quite good. I'm sure at the time as well it was really kind of amazing, I suppose, with the technology. I can't say I've been like really sold on it, but that might just be me not getting into it. Maybe it's not my type of game. It is good at, from what I've seen. It's just doesn't necessarily cut the mustard for me. But I think these guys also did. What did they do? They did the Godfather games.
Right.
Oh, I think I've played one of those.
Apparently they helped on Battlefield Hardline as well, actually, and Dead Space. They did Dead Space.
Oh, Dead Space, yeah. I really enjoyed Dead Space.
Dead Space is backwards compatible, isn't it now?
It is, yeah, and they gave it away for free last month on Xbox Live Games, yeah. I think it was last month. Because now I just downloaded it.
I never gave it much of a go, actually. I think someone did give me a copy and I played it a little bit, but...
Oh, it's enjoyable. It's kind of creepy. Best description. It's creepy, especially if you play. I've heard if you play it with full surround sound system in the dark, it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how that would work.
Where should we go next? Thinking sort of
things that we're looking forward to.
Okay.
Or we could segue nicely into, seeing as we've mentioned one recent Xbox Live game.
Wise man.
The rest.
What's actually coming out on PS4 and Xbox One free games this month. So what you can download.
Okay, well, should we start off with... Let's start off with Xbox One then.
Yeah.
So I'll leave the floor to you guys.
So the games that are available to Xbox Live Gold subscribers this month on the Xbox One are Defense Grid and Costume Quest 2.
Yeah, and Defense Grid's the one they've released from the 1st of May, and it'll run, of course, till the end of May. And then from the 16th of May, you'll be able to pick up Costume Quest 2. Now, I've given Defense Grid 2 a go. Played a couple of hours worth, and it is your kind of standard tower defense sort of game, but there's enough variety in where you can place your towers. It was kind of fun, and enough turrets to keep it interesting. But the really good thing about the game is there's so many different modes you can actually change into to really change up how you play the game. You can't maybe you've got to complete the level without upgrading any of your towers, or lots of different ways you can change up the game to get you to keep going back and playing again. And it looks like they even had a couple of competitive modes on there for maybe a bit of a rankings thing. So yeah, no, it was good fun.
What did you find about it? Did you manage to get a chance on it?
I haven't yet. I'm only just getting caught up on Overwatch, to be fair.
Yeah. Just sound. I mean, I quite like tower defense games.
Yeah, so do I. Again, it's the strategy thing.
Yeah. And it's quite nice to go into one where there isn't kind of necessarily... Well, actually, I don't know how long it's been out, but... Might not be overly meta-fied at the moment.
Yeah, possibly.
Did anyone play Costume Quest at all? It sounds quite an odd game.
Well, that's out on the 16th of May, so people will be able to. But I have played it. I must have actually bought it, but I thought they released it for free another time. But surely not, giving the same game away twice. So, but no, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a fun RPG light. Certainly the kids enjoyed it. What costume you wear depicts what kind of fighting abilities you've got, and you go around the neighbourhood trick-or-treating, collecting candy, fighting the bad guys that are trying to ruin Halloween, and yeah, it's just a good bit of fun. And it's got a quirky art style, so it's fun to watch.
Cool. Should we move on to the PS4?
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's given these a stab because I'm the only one with the PS4. There were 2 games on the PS4. There were some others as well for the PS3, but we won't cover them. So the first was sort of an indie game. What is the full name? It's something like Tabletop Racing.
Yeah, tabletop racing.
It's effectively sort of Micro Machines, basically.
Yeah. It was quite fun. It seems one of those kind of pick up and play for a bit of fun kind of games.
Yeah.
The music of it actually made me think they were trying to go for a Rocket League type thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of
capture a similar audience.
Yeah. I mean,
People who play this also played.
Yeah. I mean, it seems quite good. I mean, I didn't get that invested into it, to be fair, but I think it is a fun game to pick up and play and spend a bit of time on.
Is it multiplayer?
It is.
So that's one for the couch co-op, maybe. A few friends round, a few beers,
point.
bit of racing.
Definitely, actually. Yeah, I think that would be a good couch co-op kind of game. And it's got a few aspects like Mario Kart, not as detailed, but you can pick up like power-ups and do different things with them.
Oh, wicked.
In fact, it's made by the same guys that did Wipeout, but it seems very different to Wipeout. It's nowhere near as fast for a start. It seems fun. Like, it's a fun free game. Doesn't seem that substantial. I mean, it's definitely one you can play with friends for fun. But it wasn't a bad sort of offering. The other one was Tropica 5, which is actually quite a big...
Yeah, that seems like quite a big strategy game. Is that even that old, Tropica 5?
I don't know. It looks fairly new. It's probably been out for, I'm guessing, 6 months. Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Tropica 5, I think it's been out a bit longer than that.
Is it?
At least on the PC. No, I'm sure it's been out for quite a while.
Has it really? Wow.
Well, it was quite good anyway. I mean, it was good. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, it's been out a year basically. It came out on the 28th of April 2015. It's a lot of fun. To be honest, I played it earlier today for about an hour before we did the podcast, and I was really enjoying it actually.
So, is it one you'll be revisiting and investing more time in, do you reckon?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, basically, you're sort of El Presidente. You're kind of the president of a country, and the king sort of. I think it's the king. Yeah, is you sort of have this island that he's sort of supporting you sort of run. Yeah. And the idea is you have a big revolution and go out on your own, and it's all very Che Guevara.
Ah, right. So is it a sandbox world, or are there missions and stuff to do?
It's fairly sandbox. It's pretty much like you get a choice of 2 islands to start off with, and then you just start the game, and I mean, it's sort of, I think it does have a flow to it, but it doesn't really, I think certain things, because I reset my game on it, and it had sort of some of the same things happening at the beginning, but it's not really that story based. I think it's just certain things sort of happen along the way that kind of to help progress the game, I guess, and get you into it. I mean, I'd say you could definitely probably get a good night or 2 out of it, and maybe more if you got really into it. It's one of those games that reminds me a bit of Civilization or something like that on PC.
In that vein.
A resource-based management game.
Yeah, although it doesn't really have... I mean, it does have resources, but it's kind of all very much more building-centric. It's not as complex as, say... Not the basics of StarCraft are necessarily complex in terms of like building sort of mining sort of things, but it's nowhere near as complex as that. It's kind of very like, I'll build a plantation that does this or that, and you don't really do anything else with it. You don't really...
You then don't have to manage the product flow or anything. It doesn't drill down that far.
No. So I mean, it's sort of casual, but it is, it reminds me of Civilization in the sense it's the kind of thing that you'd probably play at a weekend, leave it for 6 months, and come back and probably get a load of fun out of it again. Really, it seems like it's a pretty good offering actually for PlayStation 4, because they've had really rubbish, well, not rubbish games, but they've mainly
been a bit lackluster. Lackluster, maybe. They've
sort of focused a lot more on kind of indie titles, so I think I did use the wrong word there. I mean, they are good games. A lot of the indie titles are played on PlayStation 4, but they're not really substantive. They're gonna sort of pique your interest for a short while, but they're not necessarily going to keep you invested for a long period of time.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I think the PlayStation 4's often better at than the Xbox One. The kind of the quality of the indie games that you get on the PlayStation 4 often seems to be, and there seems to be more of them on PlayStation 4 than there is on the Xbox One.
Well, I think they did a deal with a lot of indie developers, and they made a big deal about making the PlayStation 4 when it came out to have a big focus on indie.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Like, I mean, stuff like Don't Starve came out first on the PlayStation 4. I know the Xbox has it now, but it was certainly PlayStation 4 first.
I think that's the thing. I mean, I think when the consoles were coming out, PlayStation sort of very much focused on the games.
Yeah.
And Xbox sort of was a little bit schizophrenic about how
it was going to
advertised it. Yeah.
Yeah, a multimedia center or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is essentially a brilliant console, the Xbox.
Oh, it is.
They just marketed it, I think, really badly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of benefits to the Xbox over the PlayStation, like backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
You have to, on the PlayStation 4, you have to actually
you rent the games via PlayStation now?
Yeah. You can rent them, or you can just sort of pay a monthly thing to play some PlayStation 3 games, but it's not really your own, it's not necessarily your choice.
Yeah.
Games.
Oh, right, so do they just give you a selection each month?
Yeah, it's a bit like a Netflix.
Oh, right.
Type of thing, but it's I mean, there's some good stuff, but it's, again, like, I really like Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I'd have to
I love Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, FF7 is, like, amazing.
No, come on, Ded, why don't you like Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, actually...
My save file corrupted at the last save point.
Oh, that's so harsh. That is so not fair.
The backup of the save file.
I think I'd cry.
Yeah, I think I would. No wonder you're not so keen.
I wasn't particularly happy.
It's a long game, isn't it? It's about 50,
it is
60 hours.
Really long.
I think I'd put about 120 odd hours into it.
Well, if you take all the time to power up and kill all the different weapons, then yeah, it's really long.
Speaking of which, we could use that as a segue to games we're looking forward to.
Yes.
Because we could actually include potentially the Final Fantasy VII remake in there.
Yeah, because that's going to be next year, is it? Or are they at least hinting towards that?
They haven't said. I think. I mean,
that's kind of what I'd expect.
Yeah, because it's meant to be episodic. ...
Yeah.
Is it coming out on Xbox as well? I don't know if they've said.
I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure. I expect it would.
I think
because of course Final Fantasy 15 is, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm intrigued to see what they do. Because they felt like they'd lost their way a bit for me.
Oh, they did.
After
10, I found it.
Yeah,
went a bit.
After 10, I was never gripped in quite the same way. I don't know whether that's just me getting old or whether they did kind of lose their way a bit. So this may be before the FF7 remake, maybe one of their kind of last-ditch attempt to, re-spark the series.
I mean, I don't think it's an age thing. I mean, I'd happily go back and play FF7 or 8, or 9.
Yeah,
or 10.
definitely. I love the card game from 8.
Oh, that was great.
Wasted hours and hours on that.
I think it was. That was my favourite Final Fantasy, actually.
Ah.
But yeah, I mean, 15 and 7 remake all seem pretty exciting. I mean, 15's coming out in September the 30th.
Yeah.
And they're doing a film and a...
There's already the YouTube videos, like a TV series intro to it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's an anime... I think it's going to be a 6-episode anime series. They've already got 1 or 2 episodes up.
I've watched the first episode. It didn't really seem to tell you a lot, but it was quite fun. No.
I haven't checked it out, actually.
It was still a little vague for me. I guess it's just kind of introducing the characters, getting to know them, and then a bit of fighting.
Well, the film that they're releasing before the game comes out, I think it's called Kingsglaive.
Yeah.
Voice actors are... I don't know his real name, but Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Wow.
And Cersei from...
Lena Headey. Lena
What's
Headey.
that?
Lena Headey. Oh, Lena Headey, that's it. Almost got it.
And there's someone else as well. He's also really famous.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've not seen a lot about it.
Oh, and Florence and the Machines are doing the
soundtrack.
They've done kind of the...
Yeah.
If you watch any of the demos, they've done the cover of Stand By Me, haven't they?
Yeah.
And that seems kind of powerful.
Not as good as the original, though.
Oh, of course not.
It's good though. I mean, it's interesting. Apparently, they're using the same song for the Japanese release as well.
Right. Wow.
So, but they're going pretty sort of balls deep in this one. I think they really are hedging their bets on this a lot.
I get that impression, but they do seem to have the backup plan of Final Fantasy VII waiting in the wings.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it does well, the new one. I mean,
So do I.
You know, I'd love to love a Final Fantasy game again.
I would, because they're just absolutely so many hours of fun and pour into them.
Yeah.
Talking about fun, that's what I'm... Lego Star Wars.
Yes. Lego Star Wars, The Force Awakens.
I really love the Lego games. There's always loads of in-jokes for the fans. There's 3 levels of humour designed at the kids, the adults that have to watch, and just franchise jokes.
Yeah.
So I really can't wait for that.
I don't think there's really been a bad Lego game, has there?
There's a couple of weird ones, like some of the DS titles. Like, I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head. But anything that runs on the Traveller's Tale engine, is brilliant. And the first one was the original Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, that was awesome
which is,
fun.
Strangely enough, is the highest-selling Star Wars game ever.
Really?
Yeah, there's a record for number of sales.
Wow.
It's one of the most popular games ever, apparently. So
that's crazy.
But Lego seems to have the kind of the golden ticket. It's sort of the power of 2, effectively. Take Lego and you put it on any other franchise, and it's a win.
Yeah, definitely.
Jurassic Park was awesome. Jurassic World, sorry.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. I mean, there's so many titles to think of.
Yeah. If it's a big franchise type thing, then quite often there's been a Lego game for it.
There's been sort of just Lego sets. There's been a lot of them. A lot of franchises, things like SpongeBob SquarePants and now they've picked up Doctor Who, which is quite cool.
Have they?
Yeah, I was pleased with that.
They're doing Doctor Who sets. There's a Lego Dimensions, the Toys to Life Lego game. It's got a whole story mode, extra mission that you can buy as an add-on pack. So you get the Lego to play with as well. So you get a Lego Doctor.
Which is awesome.
But you get the bonus of having the Lego to play with.
I mean,
Which
it's quite
always
good.
a good thing.
Always cool.
It's a good sort of way to market, isn't it? Because you kind of, you're sort of hitting both sides, really. The physical Lego and also the games
With most
themselves.
Toys to Life games, it's generally a case of you buy the figures, you put them on the portal, and that's it.
That's all they do.
You swap them when you want to swap characters. With Lego Dimensions, they've made the portal integral to the game. So you have to...
Got to build everything as you go through.
Yep. Which gives it an extra element, but it also works quite well because all the characters and the vehicles, they're all made out of plain Lego.
Yeah.
So you can play with your normal Lego.
Good.
I've heard all sorts of rumours about potential development ideas for it. A popular one was a scanner that you plug into your console, and whatever you build turns up in game as you built it.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen any concrete evidence for that at all. So.
God, well.
Probably being developed in Lego's secret R&D lab right now.
The magic box.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm seriously looking forward to that one because unlike normal, the last Star Wars games in the past for Lego, the first one was 3 films crammed onto one disc. The second one was, then they combined them as the complete saga.
All on one disc.
All on one disc. This one is going to be, and that was just a
standalone,
a DVD disc for a Xbox 360. So
yeah.
Now it's going to be a Blu-ray, and it's one film. So
really,
yeah, there's only one film.
That's got to be a load of content.
There's also going to be a season pass for it as well, which is the first time a Star Wars Lego games had a season pass.
Season pass,
and they generally tend to be very well priced, good value for money. If
buy the season pass rather than buying the DLC individually.
Yeah, they're usually under a tenner, usually about £9.
Yeah.
You usually get character packs. With Marvel, you've got an extra 40 characters.
Wow.
Something like that. And you get extra levels as well, so you get more stuff to do.
Which is awesome.
So that's good value for money. For extra content.
And I think stuff like that works for games like that a lot more than, for example, say Battlefield or something. I think it works a lot better for something that's a bit more of a kind of single player / couch co-op kind of experience. Yeah. I do think there's a real issue with trying to...
Lego's definitely an awesome game for couch co-op. It's generally the only way it work.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I mean, I think with DLC it seems really good for certain types of games, but trying to apply them to something like a online shooter, to me, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It gates community so much. Right, so we've only got one more thing to talk about, I think. Which is probably the game that we're probably all most excited for. Could be No Man's Sky.
Yes, very excited for that. I'm definitely coming around your house so I can play it on your PS4 though.
Yeah, we need to have a good game of it. It should be quite interesting, really.
Also going to be available on as well.
PC.
Yep. So for those of us that don't have PS4, can play it on on the PC.
Is there any talk of an Xbox release?
No, I've seen nothing.
Not that I've heard of. I think it's going to be an exclusive. Like a late swap over, like they've done with Tomb Raider.
I'm a bit gutted about that.
I reckon it will come out on Xbox sometime in the future.
Yeah, it's bound to.
It'll probably depend on how well it's received, how well it works. The whole procedurally driven creation of the universe is quite an interesting one.
Definitely. And the fact you can name all the stuff in the universe if you're the first to discover it.
Yeah.
The only problem with it, I think, I think until we all play it, we won't have a great idea of how it all works, because what I'm wondering is, will it start to feel repetitive? If you see what I mean about what you can actually do.
Like, see that.
The ideas are amazing. The size of the universe, flying through the atmosphere, sort of customizing your ship and all that kind of stuff. These are all things that I think are amazing, but once you get in a system of like finding resources, do your thing, move on, like...
Will it just become a grind?
Yeah. But we'll have to see. Anyway, we should probably stop there, since it's been quite an epic one, I think.
Yeah, it has. Well, that's not hopefully it's not too bad a start. Yeah.
And I think what we'll do as well, I think, if we're ending it there, if anyone if anyone has any suggestions or have got anything that they'd like us to talk about, please let us know in the comments, because that'd be great. Really, it gives us a bit of a direction, and this is our sort of first attempt as a group to get this off the ground. So any kind of feedback is great, even if you tell us that we're rubbish. It's good to hear, because then we can
all feedback's
work on getting better. Exactly. So yeah, excellent. Right. So thank you for listening. We will catch you in the future.
Really appreciated. Hope you've enjoyed the popcorn.
Address.
Oh yes. If you want to get in touch with us and send us anything, ideas, etc. Ded, do you want to do it?
It's thermonuclearpopcorn@gmail.com.
We'll include a link to that in the underneath the video
description.
Indeed. Excellent. Well, thanks for listening. That is us.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.